everyone, Val here. I'm in my kitchen and I'm getting ready to cook an apple pie. I'm going to be using the recipe book all-time favorite recipes, and this is a Better Homes and Gardens cookbook that I've had for probably 30 years plus. And when I like to bake, which isn't very often, I sometimes look in here or I'll look in my family cookbook. I did notice in my family cookbook I didn't for some reason have a recipe for apple pie, and I know my mom used to bake apple pie all the time, so I'm not sure why her recipe is not in there. I might have to check with the family on that one. So see if we can get her recipe for apple pie. But for now, since I didn't have it and I wanted to make an apple pie today, I'm going to use this recipe, or at least kind of sort of this recipe. So come on in and I'll show you what I got so far, and we'll start putting this thing together. Okay, so like I said in my last recipe, I just did a pumpkin pie that's in the oven cooking, and I'll show you that one in my other video, so go back and look at that. I don't make my own pie crust because I'm lazy like that, but anyway, I use store-bought, so I have a store-bought pie crust here for my apple pie. So I have here, Steve and I picked some apples last year, and we cut them up and we froze them, and so I took a couple of the quart bags, I guess these are quart bags of the apples, thawed them out, sliced them up just a little bit thinner, and this is what I came up with. So the recipe is saying I should use about a cup of sugar, and that's about a cup of sugar. I'm using a third cup of flour, and that's my third cup of flour. I have a teaspoon of cinnamon, a half a teaspoon of ground allspice, and a fourth teaspoon of salt here. And I'm going to add all those spices. And then I'm going to just stir it up. And, let me get my, I think actually I'm going to use a metal spoon, which probably will stir a little bit better. Just bear with me as I get it out of my drawer here. But I do want to try to break these apples up a little bit. And I want to just mix this flour and spices into the apples till it's mixed up really, really good in there. Alright, that doesn't look too bad. Now the apples, when we picked the apples and froze them, they were different. They wasn't all the same kind of apple. There's a mixture of apples in here. So this should make the pie turn out with a pretty good flavor on it. So that looks mixed pretty well. I know these apples were still a slight bit frozen, but there you go. That's mixed up pretty well. I've got my 9-inch pie plate here, and I'm going to cut my dough open. And this dough's been thawing a while now, so it's plenty thawed out. I'm not going to roll it. If I can get it out. I'm just going to open it up. As you can see, it's pretty thawed out. And kind of form it in here to the pie plate. leaving the edges space over the edge here so that I can put the two pie crusts together. So anyway, that's in there. That's formed in there pretty well. Pressed down in there. I'm going to add my apples. And these were cut up in bigger chunks, but when I took them out of the freezer, I did cut them down into smaller chunks. I'm hoping that I cut them small enough so that they'll bake well. I don't bake a lot, hardly ever, matter of fact. So this, for me, making a pie is probably one of the first times that I've done it. I may have done it once before, but it's been a lot of years since I've tried to make a apple pie or anything. I do have some leftover apples here, so is that too many? I'm going to take some out. They'll cook down, right? I'll take a couple out. I know that they'll cook down some, but I don't want an empty pie. But I think that's probably a lot there. Alright. So this is no way a cooking video because I don't know anything about making pie. You guys are kind of here with me, seeing if I can do this. We're winging it together. Alright, I got my top pie crust. Oh wait, it told me that before I did that, I have to put some dots of butter on it. So, I've got some butter here. I'm going to dot the top of it with some butter. There you go. And then, I think that's it. I'm going to put this pie dough on top of it, the top crust. I think that's good, right? If I'm doing anything wrong, y'all tell me. Then I'm going to just squeeze the two pie crusts together. Hopefully it won't ooze out. I hope that I'm doing this right. I mean, I watched my mom do it. I just never really got into baking. I don't think I just don't eat a lot of the desserts on an everyday basis. If I did, I guess I would make more, but my family really doesn't eat a whole lot of pies and stuff. Unless we're on vacation, and then we'll try something, but alright, how does that look? Not bad. I've got to put some slits in it to let the air out. And then I think I'm going to cover the edges on this one with aluminum foil so that they don't burn. Because this one will probably be baking for just a little bit in there. And I don't want my pie to burn. One more little piece. Alright, y'all. I'm going to pop this into the oven. It says to bake 375 for 25 minutes. Remove the foil and bake for 20 minutes. Alright. Okay, we're going to put that in and we'll come back and I'll show you how it turns out. Thank you. Okay, our apple pie is done. It's come out of the oven and this is what she's looking like. It looks like it turned out pretty good. Also had a little bit of the pie filling left, so I used the leftover piece of pie crust that I had, and I did a little turnover. It did tend to leak out, so there is some burnt on the pan, which I don't think that's going to affect the taste of the pie, because the pie looks pretty good. But we have pie and a half here. So that's what it's looking like. We'll give it a try at dinner tonight.
Hey everybody, Steve here. Val's been busy today. We're doing our Thanksgiving dinner today because she's not going to be here. And the family's coming over, and she had made an apple pie, and with the leftover apples and crust, she made this little, whatever you want to call it.
Well, apple turnover?
Apple turnover.
Big apple turnover.
So I'm going to taste test it. I'm going to eat it for lunch.
The whole thing?
No, just part of it.
I'm gonna take a taste test too.
So, I'm going to... Tastes good to me.
Mm. Oh, that did turn out good.
Yeah, turned out nice.
Mm.
So it's
The crust is flaky.
yeah, turned out nice. Good job.
Of course,
there.
it's a store-bought crust. It's not like I made it,
It's okay.
but it turned out good. It has good flavor.
So I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna eat it like an apple dumpling. Y'all know about the apple dumplings, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's gonna throw it in a bowl with some milk and warm it up.
I don't think I'm gonna warm it up. I'll just eat it cold.
Oh, are you?
Milk and a little sugar.
Ooh, that was good. It's not over sweet.
You want another bite there?
Maybe just a little one. All right, y'all. We're gonna snack on a little pie before dinner, I guess.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.